Action. I don't know. I thought I'd try something new. Why not? Anyways, my name's Seth Klebe. I'm the host of Watch the Tech, and today I have a charming guest for everyone. So this individual, she has one foot in technology design, and then she has another foot in watches. So it's kind of the perfect guest for this show. So I'm really interested, especially because I also have my career in technology, and then I also do this watch podcast. So I think there's going to be some really fun similarities, but also probably some really cool differences between our two paths. And also, she might be one of the most up and coming women in the world of watches right now. So I feel like we're kind of getting her at a great moment. But beforehand, I want to tell you about the watch that I'm wearing. I've actually deeply reviewed already, probably one of the most hilarious watch reviews and unboxings on YouTube, but it is my Blancpain 50 Fathoms watch in blue and in a 42.3 millimeter case. So I have been wearing this watch a ton since I got it. It's been traveling with me a lot, which I did not really expect because I have a different watch that I use for travel. It's my Hermes H08, but I keep picking this up, putting it on, and getting on a plane. And just the last thing about this watch that has kind of been unexpected as I've spent more time with it is I keep coming back to the fact that overall, every element of this watch comes together from the case, the dial, the bezel, the strap, into, I think, one of the most complete, best watch offerings out there for a dive watch that also has an element of class. Some might even call it rugged luxury. And I certainly would. And so would our sponsor. So our sponsor for this episode is Rocky Mountain Watches. So Rocky Mountain Watches, if you've watched the last few episodes, they've been our sponsor, and we've continued to talk about this concept of rugged luxury. So if you are like me and you are active, you like to hike, you like to play tennis, you like to travel, you like to go to concerts, pickleball counts as well. They embody that perfectly with the watches that you buy from them. They have everything from AP to Zenith. So I highly recommend go and check out Rocky Mountain Watches. And with that, we're going to go ahead and get the episode started. I cannot wait. All right, well, we're gonna continue this thread actually, and then we'll dive in. But so I'm from San Francisco, and when I moved to Atlanta almost 6 years ago, the thing that I very quickly realized is how top tier this city is, but everyone on the outside has no idea that it's as cool as it is. It's kind of like Wakanda from, like the Marvel movies.
That's a good comparison. That's a very good comparison. Because I only had ideas about Atlanta, and I was like, oh, I've got no major pull to go. But when I went at the end of last year, I was like, this city is amazing. There's so much to do here. There's also such a plethora of really intelligent people because of the industry that's based there. But you can just live such a nice lifestyle in Atlanta too. So yeah, it's not an undiscovered gem because people do know about it, but must be an amazing place to live.
Right. People are catching on for sure.
And there's a huge watch scene there as well, right? Which is wonderful.
I was just going to say, but yes, we're opening a brand new Patek boutique. It's open, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to go and make myself an appointment with no intention to buy one.
Hi, nice to meet you guys. Can I come?
Hello. Well, Georgia, it is an absolute pleasure to have you on Watch the Tech today. This is also you're breaking a record because this is the earliest episode I have ever recorded, so congratulations to us.
Well done to both of us. I'm very happy about that.
We'll have productive days. Actually, I'm in between jobs right now, so I have nothing super formal to do after this, and I love it.
I'm jealous. I'm definitely jealous.
Yes. Well, to give my listeners and viewers a little bit on your background. So your world has really started in design and product design. You have your own design consulting business that you've been doing for a long time. You've also had some stints at Apple. And then in addition to that, I mean, obviously Apple is like one of the creams of the crops of product design, everything from the packaging to the inside of the computers and everything, of course, on the outside and the user experience. And then currently you're at Adobe.
Yeah.
So maybe actually just to start, I have no idea what you do at Adobe. If you could share a little bit about that, that would be awesome. And then we're going to get into watches.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much for that lovely intro. It's very fun to have the sort of design and tech sort of work and then get to do all the watch fun stuff on the side as well. But at Adobe, I run a growth design team focusing on monetization. And whenever I sort of say this, and I know your audience obviously is techie, so understands what we're talking about. I'm like, how much do you know about tech? Because I can get super nerdy if you need to, but I can also keep it high level. But I work in growth, like I mentioned, on a product called Adobe Express, which is Adobe's competitor to Canva. So we work on creating this creative platform which enables anyone to come in and make sort of any assets they might need to, whether it's marketing templates or social assets or websites. You can kind of do anything, and it works within Adobe's ecosystem. So it really interacts with Photoshop and Illustrator and any other creative tool that you actually need to. So what I do there is I run a little design team that works on how can we rapidly improve the product? What can we do from a experimentation standpoint with research and with data to really improve that product experience, to increase our KPIs and hit those different metrics, but then to also generally make more money for the product as well without increasing our subscription prices, because I know that everyone complains about that at Adobe. But it's very fun. I've been there for just 2 years, which has been great. And it's fun to work on this product because it's almost like a startup within Adobe, and because the product is only about 5 years old.
Okay, very cool. I am familiar with Adobe Express. I admittedly use the competitor.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
it's fine. It happens. We're going to let you, but don't worry.
Yeah.
We're working on all sorts of fun campaigns to do so.
Perfect. I look forward to those hitting every website, social media
Every
platform
we got you.
that I live and breathe. Well, now that I know you're working on improving the product, adding value, not adding subscription costs, I am curious if there are any GenAI related things that you're starting to bring into the product, and like what those might be, if you can share anything, and if not, that's totally fine.
Actually, this was perfect timing because we had a bunch of sneak peeks the last 2 days about all our GenAI improvements. So we're ultimately hoping to make the product AI first. So we want to be able to curate an experience for the user that really helps them and sort of preempts what they need. So by harnessing the powers of AI, and we're building our own internal agents too. We've got a lot of imaging agents, and we use a lot of third parties as well. So some things that we're working on right now is AI video generation, which is so incredible. And we're doing a lot around prompt education. So you can type in a prompt, a sentence, and it will generate a video for you to super high fidelity in whatever size and format you need, depending on where you actually will post this video. So that's something that's already in beta and is very exciting. And we're working on how to sort of monetize that flow at the moment, because it costs us a ton on the back end. Can you imagine outputting these like 10-second videos? It costs us so much money. So we're figuring out how to not put the whole burden on the customer, but also make it an incredible experience. But something that Adobe generally is working on is agents. So basically having like an assistant in your pocket to preempt what you need.
Well, switching into watches a little bit, I am curious to know, because I think for both of us, unless I've like completely misread the research on you, we've both kind of recently started kind of dipping our toe into the more real world of being a part of the watch community. And so I'm curious, taking a step back, what was your first watch purchase as a professional? And like, what was happening in your life at that time?
That's a very good question. And I like that it's phrased as a professional, because there's kind of two answers to it. But I think the one that's more significant in terms of my career growth was I have it in front of me, the Rolex Day Date here, President Day Date, which I adore. And I bought it. I wanted to buy it for myself for my 30th birthday, which was during COVID. And I was like, no one else is going to buy me this watch. I'm going to buy it for me. And I had worked so hard during COVID. It was a strange time for all of us, but I was like, okay, let me double down on freelance work and do a lot of stuff on sort of my agency side of things. And I was able to sort of save enough to buy this watch. And it was such a reward for me. And I felt so sort of accomplished that I was able to treat myself to something that I'd wanted for such a long time. And also like marking that 30th milestone, which I loved. Turning 30, it was a very fun time. But that's what really got me into the whole collecting journey, was doing the research to find this watch. Like I knew I wanted to buy a gold Rolex, like period, but I didn't know what I wanted. And it was the deep dive and the research and the learning that went into finding this present day date and this specific year, the dial and the markers and everything that made me fall in love with collecting.
Oh, that's wonderful. Can we bring that watch back a little bit to, give it a walk down the catwalk, perhaps? Get a little bit closer with it.
Let me just...
Okay. Yes, we love the diamond hour markers. Oh, yeah, the black, too. While it's one of the things that I love about rich dials like that is it's flat, but when you look at it, it feels like it has weight and texture to it.
So you are right, because it does have texture. It's got a tropical finish to it, which is amazing. And it's this really, really even patina, which I don't know if you're going to be able to see on my silly webcam video, but it's not going to focus in time.
Oh, no, you're great. You're great.
I'm really trying. Or you can see the reflection of the building opposite me, but you can't really see it. But there's an incredible texture across the whole dial, which is completely even, which is just wild for tropical, and that's what really drew me to it, because tropical normally has a fade or some sort of gradient, but this has this incredible texture across the whole thing. And when people see it, I went to an event last night, they were like, wait, is that, like, what's going on? And it's just so, it's a watch that's even more special up close, so I feel so lucky to have it in my collection.
That's fantastic. My 30th birthday gift to myself was also a Rolex, and it was also of the tropical variety. It was the Rolex Palm Green dial.
Oh, I know. Oh, nice. Yeah. So lovely.
Love that thing.
What a
Such
treat.
a bummer they discontinued it after a few years.
You have one.
I do. I think the reality of this one, though, was they're like, we can't convince enough people to like get down for a palm leaf on our watch, which is their loss, because I've got to say, that thing is amazing when direct sunlight hits it.
So nice. No, it's a gorgeous piece. And it's also, it's like when Rolex start to have a little bit more fun with some of their pieces, they only dabble, like they dip their toe in. Or they actually, emoji dial, they go straight in. So, but it's fun where they do have a little bit more expression of sort of design. And I think you jumped on the bandwagon with that, which is so great. So I think it's fun when they do make these short terms. And I like that they're limited. Like I like that they're only in for a short time, jump on it. Like in 10 years time, people are gonna be like, whoa, that's so exciting.
Right. I'm definitely like a self-proclaimed like dial whore, where when I see one that like really speaks to my personality, and the palm leaf actually really does. On Fridays, I wear a Hawaiian shirt. It's an ode to my dad. I do it every Friday. So when that dial came out, I was not in the market. I was not looking. I knew at some point I wanted some green dial. It is one of my favorite colors. And then I immediately called my AD and I was like, Jason, can we, put me down?
Yeah. How long did you have to wait?
9 months.
That's not terrible.
Yeah.
That's good.
3 months better than his honest estimate. So
yeah. Amazing.
We'll take it.
Wait, I had a question on this though.
Yeah, go for it.
Because I'm sure you have a wonderful relationship with Jason. How do you think that they had it in the back the whole time and they wanted to do the dance, or do you think that he didn't actually have it for 9 months?
No, definitely not, because it was in no way like a top client of his. They took 2 orders for the watch total, and there was a woman ahead of me who also ordered one, the exact same makeup with oyster steel, fluted bezel, white gold bezel. And he was like, I can't really tell you much about her, but she is a CFO of a tech company. And so I immediately was just like, female CFOs in San Francisco. Yeah. Got the list. I'm like, all right, one of you is beating me to this watch.
Surely there's quite a few, no? In the Bay Area?
There's plenty. There's a lot. Yeah. So it's not a short list actually at all. And then when hers came in, Jason sent me a photo and he's like, you're next. And that was really cool. That was like 5 months.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's so exciting. And then you build the excitement. 9 months is not too long to wait. And that's a fun little story that you had, because he kept you along the whole time too.
Oh yeah. I am like delayed gratification. I will wait. I'm in no rush.
I have a question
whatsoever.
actually about when the watch actually comes in, because I have mixed feelings about this. Like
Okay.
the hunt versus the acquisition. Like, do you enjoy that moment when you get that call and you actually finally get it? Or is the 9-month build up what gets you so excited? Which do you prefer?
That's a great question. They both have kind of special places in my heart, honestly. Like the waiting part is really great. It just continues to build. But then honestly, the pickup presentation, it's cool. You're in the back, you're having whiskey, you're enjoying your time. But I'm here to pick up a watch. Like all of my best experiences with the watch will take place not here in the back of this watch store. It will take place at dinner with friends, at a concert, just looking at the thing on a plane, right? I took the watch with me recently to Chicago for St. Patrick's Day, and looking at it while I was looking at like the beautiful Green River that I
You sent me a
cannot
photo, which is wild. Yeah.
yeah, like I can't overstate how much of a marvel it is to see that green like assault your eyes. Never did I think I would like be at a place in my life like this where I've got such a cool watch and I'm in such a cool place like Chicago.
That's such a nice feeling.
Yeah.
How lovely. Oh, I'm so happy
Yeah, it's
for
a
you.
good feeling. Thank you. All right, now back to you. So this is what happens when we find guests like this that are ever
Sorry, I
curious.
shouldn't ask you. I won't. I'll be.
We like it when the host gets a question thrown at him every once in a while.
We'll see.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see where it goes. All right, so going back to the first watch that you bought as a professional, now for comparison, I would love to know what was your most recent acquisition and the story behind that, if you have that with you.
I'm trying to think what my most recent one was.
Oh, that's when you know you're super deep into watches. You're like, I don't remember which one was the most recent.
My most recent big watch, I can tell you.
Okay.
Because I'm sure there were small little things in between.
Yeah, little treats.
Little treats, little
Yeah.
little treats that don't really, they don't go to the watch budget. It's like the shopping budget. Yeah, those ones I don't count as much. I do have an archive, like a master Excel sheet of when I bought it, where I bought it, the story behind it, and just
Oh, amazing. Okay,
it's
side quest question then. How many watches are in your collection?
just under 40. It's too many, I think. Well, it's not too many, but I've only ever got rid of one, so it's quite bad. They're not all big swing watches. They are a mixture, like a couple Rolexes. There's like quite a few Cartiers, but then I've got like a ton of like vintage swatches that I love and like fun little things too. So like 35, 40-ish, which is, it's getting up there, I change them every day. And I don't need to justify it to you. You're a fellow collector, and everyone listening probably is like, oh, I've got way more. So it's good.
Oh, yeah. There are definitely people I know who have boxes on boxes.
Some of my friends at work at Adobe, we have like a watch community, and they have just like trays of watches. So when we have like meetups, they just bring out these trays of like incredible vintage pieces. And I'm like, wow.
Yes. I love that. And you guys do in-person meetups.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's really fun.
I love how many companies I've now heard like have their separate, like I know Google does meetups. Back to this.
Okay, I will show you.
Pickup.
It is a 1940s Rolex.
Oh.
And it's a cartier dial, which I adore. Hold on, let me give you the...
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. It's a...
Oh, wow.
Rolex Precision, and it's got like incredible hallmarks all over the bracelet, and it is absolutely stunning. I got it from the Keystone in LA, and it's like, just for scale, this is a 33 Royal Oak. Like it's like a chunky piece, and
oh my God.
It took my breath away, and it's just one of the most special pieces, and it took me a while to think, do I need it? And I wear it more than I thought I would, because I often wear it like double wristing. I'll put it on like with my bracelets, and I'll wear a watch as well. But it's just such a special piece. So this was a 1940s. I went to pop to Analog Shift, and they have this incredible book from 1945 with illustrations of original ladies' Rolexes, and this was in the book, and I like squealed when I saw like the archive of this. And I think James, the owner of Analog Shift, was laughing at me because I was just, like screaming with excitement that this was archived.
That's amazing. We're talking about James Lambden, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had a chance to meet him here in Atlanta, actually, at one of my
nice.
watch club events. Great dude. So there's a couple of things with that watch. First, when you mentioned double wristing, normally I'm like allergic to the concept. When I see it, I'm just like, nah, dog, no, don't do that. But if there was ever to be a watch that could get away with it, it would be that one with the concealed dial.
Thank you. I'm glad I have your blessing. It means
You
a
do.
lot. Thank you.
Like, wear that in good health. And then the second is when they talk about getting golden handcuffs, that's what they mean for watch people.
Wait, this is so true because I bought it with a signing bonus from Adobe, and it's the golden handcuffs of working in tech because we can't leave. I need to pay my rent. I need to buy watches. So it's like this is quite literally the gold. I've never heard of it so poetically. This is my golden handcuff, and I'm
That is
very happy to
now-
have it in both all
that is
regards. I
now-
love Adobe. I love this watch. Yeah, wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing. That's so literal.
That is the nickname.
This is
If
the
you
golden
want to
handcuff.
adopt it, that's
need
your
it,
golden
yeah.
handcuff.
Thank you. Thank you. I will actually TM golden handcuff. Thank you.
You are so welcome. Well, speaking of analog shift, this question actually was inspired by the illustrious Kirkland Eaton, who I believe
Yeah.
we are both friends with. If you were to design a dial of your own, what elements would you want to include?
That is such a good question. My brain, and thank you for asking, because my brain instantly went to guilloche because I love that it's an old technique and it's so beautiful and you can create some incredible like patterns and textures on it. Like the Cartier flower guilloche design on some of their tanks, I adore. So there would definitely be a guilloche element.
I would love to know too your favorite style of like hands and hour markers. Let's get deep into that.
I want diamond markers, for sure. I love
All right.
that.
What shape of diamond?
Brilliant cut. I like that the day date has emerald and round, but I think like a round, brilliant cut, almost diamond, it's just most sparkly to me, and I think they look fantastic on a dial.
Okay.
What hands would I have? I don't think I would have Lume. It doesn't do anything for me. Like I don't think I would have Lume on the hands. I know.
This is where we differ for sure.
Well, I don't need it to glow. I just don't need to glow at night. I went to a watch event last night and everyone was like, "Look at the Lume," and I'm like, "The Lume is so cool," but I don't want it to. I want it to be like, "Wow, that's beautiful." The light is being like the diamonds are catching the light, not the Lume.
I hear you, and as I've like matured in my watch journey, now I have some watches that don't have Lume, and I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
But Lume for me, I do love it. And it's because it reminds me a little bit of when I was a kid. I loved those glow-in-the-dark stars.
Yep.
And so I still love shit that glows in the dark. I can't help it. I will never change. But what is really cool is when you have it in hour markers that have like crazy high levels of finishing. Mm-hmm. So when you're out and about during the day, you can almost trick yourself that it plays with the light like a diamond.
Yeah.
I mean, I think AP, Rolex, probably Grand Seiko, they do those super high polish hour markers. But then nighttime, you see the glow, you're like, hell yeah. That's what happens. People like dudes look at it and they're just like, hell yeah.
It's like an action figure, like something that you need next to your bed that still glows at night. I think it's great. It's not necessarily something I need, but
Understood.
I like that it works.
Understood.
I think that's fine.
Okay. So we've got a guilloche. We've got diamonds. What else?
I think we would have it in a color, like a deep, like oxblood, or I wish I could have a stone and guilloche. I need to think more about this question because I feel like I'm going to have so many different ideas I want to throw into this dial, and it's going to be so overwhelmed, and then I'm going to have to pull back. This is like my design process anyway. But like, what if it was a aventurine, which is my favorite stone for a dial because of the way it sparkles? But do I need aventurine and diamonds? Like, yes, but do I? I don't know. Do you know what I always think about? Like, I think about how can I add a sapphire dial on my Datejust? Because I want to see the inner workings. And you can get so many custom dials on different Rolexes. And anything you want, like Mickey on a dial, like whatever, Donald Duck. But why don't they make clear dials? And I would love to, like I know it's not going to have a skeleton case back per se, but this should exist. And I would love to see the inner workings. And it would be amazing to be able to do that. But I don't know why it doesn't.
Well, I think Rolex very much, they're pretty buttoned up with their movements. And obviously, they're starting to make some changes there. But I have been, well, I say this all the time, Rolex, in my opinion, is like the only brand that I wear that can get away with not showing me the exhibition movement, because everything is just so perfect. But I want more of their watches to have the exhibition case back. And I've met plenty of people who don't give a shit about the movement. They're like, no, not it.
Yeah.
Me, I'm like, no, I want to know that there is someone in Geneva who sat behind a bench and polished the living shit out of that movement and made it look as beautiful. Like, it's the mechanical artwork element of it to me. Mm-hmm. And so I want to see that. I want more of that. I don't love the exhibition dials. Like when Patek did their like advanced research, Aquanaut, and like a part of the dial is exposed.
Yeah.
I was just like, not it for me.
You want all or nothing, or just a case back caveman?
Just exhibition case back. That I want to see, because that's like, it's like the it's kind of like a mullet. Business in the front, party in the back. The party's the movement.
This is where we differ. I have such a visceral reaction to mullets. Can't stand them. My sister loves a mullet. A weakness, like weak at the knees. I can't stand a mullet. But I also love an exhibition case back and dial. Like Piaget have this incredible new polo, I think it came out last year, that's you can see through the entire thing. All the movement, it's so thin, and it's just like magical to me. Like, yes, there is an issue if you have hairy arms and you're going to see like hair through this watch because that doesn't look particularly attractive. But the fact that you can like look through this watch and see everything, it's like you can look at, it's like looking at a beating heart. And that to me is so exciting. And that to me is a polished, clean haircut as well, without any party at the back.
Yeah. No, I also do not like mullets, to be clear. Just using it for illustrative purposes. They should be stricken from the record. Another question for you. Are there any watches that you brought that, might surprise people that you own?
There's a lot of watches that I think might surprise people. I feel like I need to go and grab a different one for you. But one that people are always very intrigued by, I have it here, is this Bouchereau, which has got like an incredible bark finish to it, and like a bark bezel, bark dial, bark everything. And it was my grandmother's, so we're not really a family of watch collectors at all, but this was the watch that my grandmother had, and she wore it to death. It's got like crazy warp on the bracelet. But whenever people see it, they get so sort of enthralled and intrigued by it because it's just such a unique, like crazy piece, and the gold work on it is just so beautiful.
Oh yeah.
So it just pulls anyone in, like male, female, anyone, like collectors.
Yes, I've seen. I didn't realize it was called like a bark style, but I've certainly seen it. It is, it's beautiful.
It is so tiny, like it's so small. Like it's just so manual wind, and it's with like the British hallmarks on the clasp. It's just a fun little piece that everyone always gets enthralled by. I can grab you one that people always get surprised by if you would like. Okay, this watch is a vintage swatch, and it looks like a cuff. It's got a button, and it has a watch in it. And my holy Phoebe Bridgers. It's just the most amazing thing. And I have managed to find two, and I am wearing them to my birthday party this weekend, and it is just the most exciting thing. It's a watch cuff.
Oh, was it
worth the wait?
Yes. I have never in my medium-legged life seen something like that.
It's just ridiculous. Yeah.
Wow.
Swatch really came up with some crazy pieces, and they don't come up with this level of creativity anymore. But like if I go on a dive, like if I'm on a mooring meeting and I start looking at vintage swatches, I'll be there forever, and I will have a million turning up from all various places around the world because they made such incredible pieces during the time, and this is one of them that I am obsessed by. So
it's pure magic. I could see like Jeff Goldblum wearing that.
Oh, I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah.
But I'm quite excited that I found two because I'm going to wear them one on each wrist.
This is probably our last question before we wrap up. I know.
Such a lovely time.
Me too. I have literally nothing to do after this. It's fantastic. If a fellow female coworker approached you about wanting to get into watches, what advice would you give her?
That's a very good question, and it has happened to me before.
Okay.
I would say stay true to your personal style. I think we get so easily influenced by collectors and by influencers and celebrities around us that we might think we want that watch, which is probably not true. So stay true to your personal style. Go and try on as many as you can. Walk into a Cartier, walk into a Rolex boutique. Be honest. Say that I'm thinking about getting my first watch. I probably won't be buying today, but I want to go and try things on. And I think having the upfront, candid conversation with any watch and any retailer, whether it's vintage or new, will sort of build that rapport and bring a lot more confidence between that relationship. So you'll be able to go in and actually have an enjoyable time versus feel like embarrassed or too difficult to go in, or sort of that prohibitive barrier to entry where, oh, okay, I can't afford the watch today, but I still need to explore. And then the last thing I would say is, especially for buying vintage, but buy the best version of the watch that you can afford. So don't try and buy the cheapest, buy the best one, because if it's going to be your first watch, if you are getting into collecting, you want this watch to sort of be a memento, like similar to your palm dial. You want something to really mean a lot to you, and you don't want it to break and need a lot of servicing, so you want it to really be the best of the version that you can buy.
That's great advice. It really is. And I think the best, like on the flip side of that coin, the best watch dealers, the best ADs, they understand the simple truth that if someone comes in, oftentimes like they're not necessarily looking to buy, they're looking to get ideas. And there's such a push and pull of, is it a buyer's market? Is it a seller's market? It always depends. It depends on the brand. It depends on the watch. It gets down to that level. But at the end of the day, it's still a mutual engagement that ends up happening between buyer and seller. And I have absolutely bought watches from different dealers because I've had poor experiences with others. I mean, of course, the most stereotypical, you walk into the store and they look you up and down like they know, like.
I unfortunately have got that quite a bit. And I think being a girl, being like an excitable girl as well, when I walk into an AD that I don't know, or if I'm traveling, they either will just ignore me, or they'll be like, oh, we'll send someone to see you, and then they won't. And it's happened so many times. And the times when it doesn't happen is when I'm wearing like a bigger watch. Like if I'm wearing this like super fun that brings me so much joy watch, they wouldn't even give me the time of day. If I walk in with like a Royal Oak or whatever it might be, maybe they will consider it. But I've walked into so many boutiques where I've just not been given the time of day, and It's fine, but it's just a shame because I go in with such curiosity and joy and excitement to go and make a new friend and try on these amazing things and sort of learn from them. So I think that judgment kind of needs to shift, hopefully, especially with female buyers. But that's why I sort of encourage people to go in and say, this is what I want to do today. Like, I want to learn and I'm curious, because that hopefully breaks that barrier of like there's perhaps snobbishness, and sort of makes everyone feel a bit more comfortable.
Right. It's kind of like, be the watch dealer that you would want to work with if you were the buyer.
Yeah, like mirror, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, Georgia, it has been truly a charming pleasure having you on Watch the Tech today. Mm-hmm. Is there anything that is going on in your life that you want to share with the listeners and viewers before we go?
Yeah, thank you for asking. I am heading to Watches and Wonders in the end of this month, end of March, and I am extremely excited. I've got so many appointments lined up, and I can't wait to connect with some brands that I haven't connected with before, so I think it's going to be a extremely exciting and exhausting time. So I'm trying to save my energy leading up to that. But I do have a lot of sort of exciting things in the woodworks. I'm working with a couple brands on potentially doing these panels and dinners. So stay tuned. I really love curating events that are really catered towards different audiences.
Well, that's great. I'm super jealous that you're going to Watches and Wonders. Well, thank you for coming and joining. Also, thank you to our sponsor of the episode, Rocky Mountain Watches. Y'all are the best. And for everyone that's listening, Obviously, thank you guys too. Like, this show doesn't happen, or it doesn't get inspiration without knowing that at least like 10 people are going to watch this episode. And so for anyone who's new, please do like and subscribe.